Hi, this is Ken, and I would like to welcome all of you to the second annual Integral Spiritual Experience. We're delighted to see all of you here. We have a terrific program outlined for you. We have dozens of the finest spiritual teachers in the world who have all come together to particularly focus on love, the nature of love, practice of love, what it means. And this is a topic that has an enormous importance and significance, but is often overlooked. Because love is not just a feeling between people. It's actually a force operating throughout the entire universe. It's been recognized by philosophers, East and West, alike, and from time immemorial. For the ancient Greeks, for example, it was eros, a drive toward ever greater unity throughout the cosmos. Of course, this is a force operating between humans. But this drive towards unity actually goes all the way back to the Big Bang. Imagine, for example, the point right after the Big Bang, where the largest units in existence are, say, subatomic particles, such as protons, neutrons, and electrons. At some point, these separate subatomic units, which had previously indeed been separate entities, find themselves in close proximity to each other. And voila, whole atoms are formed. The subatomic particles, heretofore separated from each other, suddenly come together and are held together by a single boundary. From separate subatomic units to single units or atoms. That's an example of eros, or the self-organizing drive to greater unity. At some point, various groups of these atoms found themselves in the proximity of each other. And voila, another feat of real magic. These separate atoms came together into single molecules, held together by a single boundary. Another extraordinary example of eros, of self-organization through self-transcendence to a higher level of unity. A truly miraculous event. Even more extraordinary to my mind is the next major stage of evolution or transformation. This is truly miraculous. Groups of complex molecules, exquisitely tailored for the task, find themselves in the vicinity of each other. They are drawn together into a single unit, and a cell comes into being, held together by a single cell membrane. Imagine the complex number of molecules needed for this task. Hundreds of different molecules pulled together into a single entity, with each molecule performing its own exquisitely tailored task, yet operating together as a single unity, a single cell. A truly stunning example of eros in action. The eros-driven move to even higher unity continues. Numerous perfectly tailored cells come together into a complex multicellular organism, with all of these cells held together by a single boundary. I mean, imagine dozens of different types of cells, all brought together into a single functioning unit with one boundary. Many cells brought together into one organism, a yet higher level of unity, an even more amazing example of eros. The upward-driven movement of eros to yet even higher levels of unity continues. from plants to animals to amphibians to higher plants and animals, resulting eventually in humans themselves. By the time humans have emerged, consciousness is in full bloom. And if we look at the evolution of consciousness itself, we see the same principle of ever higher levels of unity driven by eros. Human identity, for example, grows from egocentric to ethnocentric to world-centric to cosmocentric. Egocentric means the individual is identified solely with itself, with its own I. This is common the first year of life. But identity, like all of evolution, is driven in part by eros. And soon an egocentric identity expands to an ethnocentric identity. The individual's identity expands to a group identity with the family, the tribe, the nation, and so on. And eros can continue its drive to ever higher unity, identifying with all human beings, regardless of race, sex, color, or creed, moving from an ethnocentric to a world-centric identity, and higher yet, to an identity with all sentient beings, and even divinity itself, a cosmocentric identity. So you can see that whenever you feel love, at no matter what level, egocentric, ethnocentric, world-centric, or cosmocentric, you are actually feeling a force that stretches throughout the universe and goes all the way back to the Big Bang. Whether you call it anything from eros to self-organization through self-transcendence, it is love, just love. And love, by any other name, is simply the drive to ever higher levels of unity. So you can let yourself feel love now, reaching all the way down to subatomic particles and all the way up to an identity with the all, an identity with all of manifestation itself, one and the same love, one and the same force of unity, one and the same drive to ever higher levels of unification. And whenever you feel love, you are feeling one and the same force operating throughout the entire cosmos. And it's a force reaching all the way back to the Big Bang and will reach forward into the future indefinitely. Whenever you're identified with love, you're identified with your deepest, highest, truest level of unity or oneness you're capable of at your own present level of evolution. Is it egocentric? Are you identified merely with your own self, your own limited awareness? Or is it ethnocentric, and you are identified with a particular group, cause, or set of values, excluding all other groups and values? If this is the case, you will likely have a fundamentalistic identity with a particular cause, whether that cause is fundamental religiousness, Christian or Muslim or Hindu, or a favored movement, Marxist, feministic, patriotic, or a particular philosophy, scientistic or rationalistic or reductionistic. Or do your chosen values transcend all limited values and identify instead with a post-conventional sympathy with all humans, regardless of race, color, sex, or creed? In this world-centric orientation, you feel a fundamental unity with all of humankind. Racist or sexist or ethnocentric remarks actually embarrass you are something essentially alien to your level of unity, which is with all races, all colors, all sexes, all values, regardless of the particular values you yourself hold. You feel a fundamental sympathy with all human values, even though you will likely find some values more worthy or noble. The point is that you no longer hold merely conventional or ethnocentric values, but have expanded your identity to world-centric levels of love and unity. Or have you gone further yet and find your identity transcending the merely human to all of manifestation itself, to all sentient beings, and the ground of all being? Here, you no longer look at a mountain. You are the mountain. You feel fundamentally one with all of experience, all of manifest and unmanifest existence, a truly cosmocentric unity. Here, the deepest secrets of the universe show themselves. You are no longer on this side of your face, looking at the world out there. You are the world out there. You are one with everything that is arising, moment to moment to moment. In this cosmocentric state, your identity shifts from the individual, finite, isolated, separate self-sense to one's truest and deepest self, infinite, unbounded, unlimited, and driven top to bottom by eros, by love, by a drive of evolving unity at all levels. And one's very sense of being expands to a oneness with the all itself, with every aspect of reality, inside and out, individual and collective, being and becoming. In the deepest part of your existence, you realize this love, and you realize this love is timeless and eternal, present from the very beginning, and fundamentally continuing to drive evolution right now, driving existence to yet higher and higher levels of oneness and unity. This love is fundamentally who and what you are at the leading edge of your own evolution, which is the same at evolution at large. This supreme identity is awaiting you now, in this moment, in this timeless present, as you reach the edge of love and evolution itself, an ever-present unity that has been here from the very beginning and all along, the force that moves the sun and other stars.